Hello, hello, hello. Hey, hey. So, welcome, everyone, everywhere, every time to a new live stream right now. I think we're live. I think we're good. You let me know. I think we're good. Okay. So, please let me know if you can hear me well. And if you can hear the bass right here. And I think we're good to go right now. So, welcome and hello, everyone. Tuning in right now, Mr. D-Man, Amado Hernandez, Nathan Kurtz, Samuel Gamers, I'm Not a Cow, Red Clown, and many, many, many more coming right now. Um, as usual, you can check out and search for me, obviously, right here in the channel. You can also go to Facebook, Cover Solutions. You can go to Twitter also. And most important, you can go to Patreon and become a patron and help me in my work, the hard work I'm trying to get by each day. You know it's hard, and I tell you every time, but I'm doing my best. I'm right now just working on this and going full time and in trying to solve the songs for you, trying to be a good teacher in a way, in the best way I can, I think. And so let's move on right now. Remember this this instance, this moment in this channel is made for you. It's made for your questions to be answered mostly, and it depends a lot of the flow of this thing depends a lot of you and your questions, and so yeah, don't worry if you don't have any right now. We have some time. I will be trying to do the same as I did I think 2 weeks ago, before we left off. I will be trying to revisit some of the things I've been uploading this week, trying to save some little things that I think are quite right for me to revisit and get kind of a lesson of it. So the songs I uploaded, including the one in the weekend, that was Learn to Fly by Foo Fighters, and we also have two other songs that were Patreon requests. One from Anderson Paak and another from a Argentinian band that you may check out really soon. So, welcome everyone. Greetings to everyone. Just tuning in. I notice immediately, and obviously in every stream. I know you're kind of eager for me to do some songs and whatever, but there's some instance for it. There's the comment section and whatever. I'm really trying my best now, and I think I posted it in one of my videos, and it's about the YouTube comment request that I've been kind of lefting beside, and I will be trying to do. I just recorded some of the one of the many requests that every one of you have. The most popular I will be trying to do, so we can move on to the next step with some things. I know everyone is asking for roundabout. I know everyone is asking for the ones from Black Sabbath, maybe ones from another ones from the Red Hot Chili Peppers and whatever. So I know I have to do some of the most important, and I'm trying to convalidate that thing, with the Patreon thing and some other things. So let's move on. Okay, so as I said, I will be trying to teach you some things in between, as long as I see kind of a question that I think it's important, I will be highlighting it, and we can move on. So around the world, it's on the channel, so you can actually check it out. And yeah, some things that I always forget, and every one of you will be asking, because I know not many of you watch all of the live streams and all of the things, but yeah, you can also in the comments maybe answer them, some of the most common questions. The type of bass everyone asks for it, where I am from. Maybe someone can already answer, where I'm from and what's my story, kind of. But to remind you, I'm from Chile, a little country, in South America. I'm from kind of the middle part of the country. I've been playing for about 5 or 6 years, maybe, about that. And this bass, it's called Washburn Taurus T24. It is the only bass I actually possess right now. I really like it. I really love it, and it has been giving me a lot of work and a lot of pleasure. So I really appreciate it. But I'm not kind of a geek with gear and with equipment and whatever. I'm really kind of a do-it-yourself guy. I may say it like that. I just get what I get, and I try to do my best with it. So I try to encourage people not to worry much about what gear is the correct for that tone and whatever. Most of the sound of the instruments, it's in you, and you should get the best out of it. So Mr. Churro Duro Faker says, did you go to the musicians conservatory? Not quite like that, but I went to college. I studied music bachelor's, if you maybe you can call it like that, in a university in Valparaiso. It's a place just near here, and I just got instruction in many things about music. It obviously helped me a lot in many things, especially in the transcription part, I think, and I'm always thankful about that. But most of the things, it's always about practice, and trying to learn yourself always, having a good learning mind, beside everything. So I want to say hello to everyone, obviously speaking English, but I always want to say hello to everyone speaking another language. Le quiero mandar también saludos a la gente que está hablando en español. And let's move on with it. So, one of the songs I just recently uploaded was Learn to Fly. It's a very common song, and I think I just thought what I may highlight about it. and it's quite an easy song if you can notice, if you have the tabs. I will be moving this scene. Okay, we have the song right here, and yeah, a really easy song, if you may say. For the bass, really simple, but there's always some things that you can highlight. I actually don't have a pick right now. Okay, let me improvise. Um, okay, I'm gonna play with this. So, um, the main chorus of this part of this song, if you're not very familiarized, with picking, and the most important thing I'm going to tell about this, and not much more, it's about the strumming part. When you played guitar, maybe before another instrument, maybe most of you play a little guitar, or maybe most of you don't, I don't know, but in my case, I played some guitar just before this. So I have a kind of a training starting with it, and it's not hard for me to learn to strum in this way. You have this. So I just noticed, I used to do some classes, maybe to little children and some other people, and it was always hard, to get a chord and try to strum it in a nice way. It's hard, and I think you can incorporate it in many parts of any play, any stringed instrument, I think. So if you take this part, you have a quarter and some eighth notes, and a little tie just right there. So we get this. Tan, ta, tan, ta, 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 tan. So most people try to strum, and when they try to strum or you use a pick or whatever, they always have problems with this, with trying to keep the beat in your hand and trying to play that way. And if I do it kind of in a wrong way, this should look like this. And maybe you hear it and it's not quite different, but it is in a way. So especially in your movement, most people don't pay much attention to movement in your playing, and it's not about dancing like a freak, whatever, but it's about having a good movement in your hands, and obviously your body too, but most important in your hands in this case. So if you have a good wrist movement, you will always keep the beat, and keeping the beat might be difficult if you're doing it like this, kind of in a robotic way. So always try, when you're strumming or when you're using a pick, or maybe even if you're using fingers, try to use the movement of your hands to increase your tempo, to get a better tempo, better feel of the song. So if you're doing like this, and always with this movement, even if you're not playing it, you will keep a very tight beat. And sometimes it's difficult, even if you advance in this song. You have things, quite as simple as this. You have some whole notes, maybe right here, and even a tie to another whole note, and you have a lot of time not doing anything, and you can get lost in that way. So you always have to keep a beat in your head, or maybe in your hands. If you notice the video, and I just noticed after I uploaded, actually, you'll notice when I'm going to confront, these notes, I'm always trying to keep the beat in my hand, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 1, 2. So I'm always trying to keep the beat, and I think that's important for everyone and apply to everyone. So um, I think that's much about the song. I think it's it's a good song. Obviously, maybe the line it's not the most imaginative one, but but it works. It works great for the song. So always try to keep a good timing, and I think the very best way to notice a good musician, it's because of the timing. In my opinion, you will notice a good musician if he has the tightest of the timings, because maybe in some times that's something you always get with some practice and some good listening. So it's a very important feature, I really think. So David Imperiale, last try, man. A question: do you know some songs for training with the fretless? Well, I actually never played a fretless bass. I had some experience maybe with double bass. I just played a little bit, maybe. But I really love the sound of it, and as soon as I can, I will be getting one. I promise you. But for training with it, I maybe not the right one to tell you. But yeah, I prefer not to tell you. but but yeah, choosing the right song to practice, it's maybe always trying to downgrade a lot, try to play the simplest song and try to advance from that, always try to not be so ambitious in the constant training, but always having kind of a higher ambition, of course, Okay. Can you teach a small slap riff? I was just messing around before this, so let's see what I can teach you. I'm going to skip the part, in which I explain how to slap and whatever, because I've said it so many times, and I'm kind of tired of it. But you can search it in the channel, slap lesson. You can search it in the every live stream. I'm always telling it. So let's advance a little bit. So I'm always messing with this, or maybe something like this. And that things are not quite difficult, So the first one, okay, let me remember. If you play it really slow, it's something like this. So if I had to try to teach you that, you will have to know some things, First of all, ghost notes while playing a slap, it's quite hard. So, but not that different, I think. If you know how to play, this. You just have to apply this hand differently, and you'll have the ghost notes. again. So if you rest your hand slightly, you know, right here, everywhere, and always using more than one finger, you know, to secure the sound, you'll have the ghost notes applied in the slap. So let's keep it simple. We'll do something like this. Okay, let me figure out. Okay, let's do something like this. It's not that hard, but maybe practice it slow, you know? So, how can we approach this? Okay, we have slapping right here. And then again, we have a slapping, but with ghost notes. We have two notes coming right after this. So we have this, and we have this. So notice how I use the thumb to slap, and then again I rest it right here, or maybe I just kinda leave it out, you know, so we can get a good sound. So we have to alternate between letting notes go free and trap them kind of in a way in a ghost note. So I think this is kind of a great exercise to start slow, and maybe we can move on with a faster, you know, thing. But let's practice this. Okay, we have slap, ghost note, and pop in the octave. So we have a 5th fret, 7th fret, an A and a higher A, and we have this. So all the ghost notes I'm applying are from slapping right here. So we have slap, ghost note, pop, and then again ghost note, and back to slapping. Not that hard, so we can all try. Okay, so 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And again, so not that difficult, and you can advance quite fast. So, and you can get this and, you know, add some other things maybe, or transport it to another key or another notes, so we can have this. And some other things, you know. But yeah, if you try to add some of these ghost notes, you will get much farther, you know, in the line creation, especially in slapping and in every way of playing, I think. I really like ghost notes. If you use that for just finger playing, it's obviously really great also. And some other things. So very important to get a clean sound of that, because if you're not doing it right, it may sound something like this. You're not using that much of your fingers to mute that sound and get the most percussive sound you can achieve, so very important. If you want to kind of improvise maybe something slapping, I'm always trying to shield myself in using octave, because that's most of the slapping involves octaves. And I remember that is playing the note and the higher octave, and you can find that in every note if you play the one right here and you go down, or I mean up, 2 frets and 2 strings. You have this in every part of the fretboard. You will have that. You will have the octave following up in that way. And some other things. So I'm not familiar with that type of bass, Mr. Nassim, I think. But I think you can give it a try in most basses. Maybe not in every bass, especially if you don't have a much of a low action, the distance between the strings and the bass itself, so you can get the most percussive of the sounds. So any suggestion for playing jazzy stuff with really weird right hand patterns? A good example is Runaway by Jamiroquai. Okay, let's check that song. I really like it, so let's check it out. We have a changing scene right here, and we will check it out. So Jamiroquai is kind of a jazzy, you're right, but it's got a a lot of funk actually, and it's acid jazz in a way if you search it in kind of a style, made up style, but it has a lot of influence, Okay, no, and right here I think we have it. Okay, so how's it sounding? Okay, that's the MIDI, but it's kind of like that. Okay, you have a yeah, that's it. Yeah, you're right. It's there's most of the time some some kind of a hard fingering positions, especially for this bassist. It's a great bassist. You will have a lot of great great lines coming from it. So let's analyze it a little bit. So we have this. If you notice, you're moving through a lot of parts of the fretboard, you know, just to get some style maybe, and to get some good notes. You know, maybe you can simplify it, but it has kind of a groove if you play it like this, so you can, you know, get the most out of the slides, the techniques you have to apply, you know, especially when you're playing something like here and you're going right up right here. But the best for this things, you know, it's trying to take it slow, because you have a lot of information going through in just these 2 bars, so you have a lot to process. Okay, so let me check it out. You start with this, you know, 8th fret right here, and notice I'm trying to use the best of my hand to get a good position, a good not forced to match my hand. So if I'm doing it fast like it is, you will not notice much of an effort, maybe if you're using the right positions, and that's very important actually. So let's do it kind of faster. So I'm trying to use the best position I think are the appropriate one, you know. So we're trying always to fix the hand in 4 4 frets, and trying to use that position, and using always all the fingers in each of that fret. You know, you have like this case, you know, you have the first bar, and you have a 8th fret, and then again 8 and 7s and 10 and 8, and I'm not doing this. You know, I'm not trying to use 2 fingers for the whole thing. I'm trying to do, you know, use of all the fingers I have, and most of you will maybe not use a lot of the little finger, and that may get difficult, you know, for some things. So very important thing, and I always say it, I think, try to use all of your fingers. Very important. And again, right here, up here. Why I'm not doing it like this? Not using these 2 fingers, you know, it might be the thing, but they are kind of a weak 2 fingers, you know. You have a index and middle. I think they are the kind of the strongest for some things, especially for this part of the fretboard. It might be difficult if you're doing it like this, but it's an option too. But if you're playing it really fast, maybe it's kind of more comfortable to use the most predominant in strength fingers. So every of this process, you know, I'm trying to explain to you. You always try to do it the faster you can. You know, you're not thinking, okay, this finger goes right here and whatever. You know, I'm not always thinking about that. Maybe sometime I'm always just playing, but in some time you have to take a pause and think, okay, how am I playing this? And for that, it's very important that you have a good basis, a good roots in your learning, because from that you will build. So always try to notice what are you doing wrong, because always you're doing something wrong. I'm always doing something wrong also. So don't ever think you're doing the thing perfect, because most of the time it's not, actually. Most of the time it's not. But yeah, for that part, I think this is a nice song. I really like it. So you have that main riff, and you will get some other parts right here that are very great. And some things that are really great. I really like Jamiroquai in the construction, of the lines, because it's maybe not that extreme, but it's really difficult in some technique things, and especially in what I'm trying to say to you about using the right fingers, using the right positions, and trying to get a good feel out of it. You can't play something with good feel if you're having a bad time playing it. You always have to have a good time playing it if you want it to sound great. So always being comfortable with the playing, very important too. So for some people, say I know recently I haven't been trying a lot in the part of the song request of you people, so you YouTube people. So I'm trying to do my best. I think I'm going to surprise you in a way this weekend. So please be patient with some things. I'm doing my best, and eventually I will play everything. I mean, that's my goal. I'm not a I'm not that immortal, to play everything, but I will be trying to play the most important things for this instrument. And maybe we can move on to another instrument in some other time. I'm I'm not kind of the guy that will stand with the same thing forever, but I won't stop playing this also. So I know you want more of some things, more of something else, but yeah. So Mr. Oral Ball, starting bass tomorrow. Any tips? Okay, you're starting kind of a class, kind of a what? But I think I'd have to have kind of a list for the beginner tips. I really like getting good beginner tips, because those are the most important. But for me, position, it's the thing that is most important. And why it's the most important for me is because it's kind of because it's like walking. It's like your position of your hands, or your position of your posture. It's really hard to get out of a bad posture, like I have actually a really bad posture. And some other things, they are quite hard to reprogram you to learn it different. So every time you're trying to learn something, try to learn it really conscient, about what you're doing. So um, I okay, I understand now. Okay. Mhm. Yeah, coming from guitar, it's always great, because you have a kind of another role going through. When you're playing guitar, maybe you have a kind of a more fixed role. I really think, you have a role that it's more a harmonic role in some cases, and bass should also be kind of a harmonic role, but you have a lot of more liberties to do some things, and I really like it. I really like the role in a band of a bass player, even more than playing solo. You know, applied to the band, it's a really nice role, I really think. So, what software do you use to monitor your bass while you record, and how do you add effects? So, in every description of every video, I'm always trying to do kind of a synthesized version of what I do. But if you want the long version, I have this bass, I plug it into an audio interface that is a Scarlett 2i2 Focusrite that I just recently bought, and it's always has a lot of good reviews, so really nice sound, really nice features. And from that, I just do the processing. I just do the processing via an audio software. I'm monitoring with the headphones, and it's not much of a great thing. But most of the sounds I'm getting, the tone and whatever, it's all about some tricks in the mixing, and in adding some things, some cabinet emulators. I think you can call it like that. VSTs I use a lot, and some other things, that are kind of the more of the geeky part of the playing. A good sound, it's always something I want to achieve, but most of the time something it's not getting me right there. I don't have the perfect bass for every song I play. I don't have the perfect thing for everything I play most of the time. And since I'm always being kind of a versatile person, I really need to have the most versatile things. So it's kind of difficult. I originally come from Chile. It's as I said, it's a country in South America, and I'm always excusing about the way I speak. I know it's not the best. I think I'm improving a little bit, but you will always notice, this broken English accent in a way. So I'm sorry about it, but I'm doing the best I can. So. Okay, Mr. Dylan Collins says to me again, yeah, it's cause when I record, I can monitor my bass while I record. Okay. I use amplitude. I also use amplitude most of the time. But I can listen when I play. Oh, okay. Yeah. That's the main use for the audio interface, and before I had to bought one, to buy one. It was hard for me to listen to myself. I had a lot of delay between what I'm playing and when and that is really bad for your playing and for everything. So for your mind also. So I recommend you try to buy an audio interface. There's a lot of a range in prices. So yeah. Mr. Okay. Any tips for learning private lessons? I just picked up the bass. Yeah. Another. I think I'm not going to answer that one because I just said something similar right before. I just wanted to thank you for helping me improve a bass player. Thank you so much. Thanks to you. Thanks to everyone, watching this. I'm trying to do my best to answer everything. It's hard, actually. So, how do I use Patreon? I always say it in everywhere, but I will say it because it's very important for me, obviously. Um, just have to go to patreon.com/cover solutions, and you will find everything you need to know. I try to explain it very well. You click in become a patron, you use your payment method, and maybe you really need to know a little bit of English, and I'm sorry about it. I'd love it if Patreon has kind of a multi-language thing, but I think it's not the case. So okay, someone is asking me about what's your base. Let me see if some of you know and can answer that guy. In between, I will be going to another song, maybe to say something else. Okay, let's pick up Celebrate. So we have Celebrate right here, and it's a nice riff. It's a nice line to play with it. Okay, let's check it out. So it's something like this. And again, oh yeah. So you have that kind of a loop in a way, it's repeated a lot. And if we're going to talk more about some theory things, I think this is a very good song. So let me check out the comments and we'll start with that. Okay. Okay, someone answered about the bass. I'm very proud about you. I'm very proud of the people knowing what bass is this. And I have to tell you, I'm most of the time I get very tired, answering the same thing over and over again. So I appreciate if you see someone asking about it, you can do me a favor and answer. Okay, so check the harmony right here. You have a G major. I will be playing like right here. So we have a G major, we have a C major, B minor, and A minor. So things about knowing the notes you're playing, and I'm always maybe saying this again and again, very important. Besides knowing the tablature, how to read the tablature, and tablature and score and whatever other method, it's at the end of the time it's just a method of learning a song, of learning something, of reading something that you should play just by maybe memory, or just play it. It's kind of a tool for the low memory we have as people, as human beings. I really think about it that way, and I really don't like when some people degrade the tablature. I think you have some codes that you apply to know a song, and that's all you have. Maybe for me a 3 right here in this space, in this line, it means a G for me. And actually it means a G for me if I don't have the harmony up. I know it's a G because I've been playing tabs so much that I already know the names of the notes. And that's very important, knowing the pitch of a note. It's very important because you will have a knowledge of the harmony you have to play if you have the charts right above it. So that's very important too. And this is kind of a not difficult way of playing the harmony right here. You have a G major, C major, B, and A, and you're just highlighting the root note of each chord, you know. To remind you, a chord it's composed of 3 or more notes, you know, one each other, over each other, you know, to form the chord. And you have the root, that is the name of the chord always. You have the third, that is an interval of a third above the root, and again the fifth, the same thing, a fifth above the root. And then you have the triad. Those 3 notes are the triad of the chord, and you will have the, according to differences between thirds, you will have major and minor chords. That's some of the things that we checked out in the last stream. So if I'm playing a G major right here in the full position, we have the root, the third, and the fifth right here. And you have those 3 notes to conform the G major. So if I'm playing a G, I'm just playing the root of this line, and in most of the cases that will be your safe zone, you know, the zone you will you know, get to when you're, you know, watching maybe what chord can I play, and I will play a G because it's a G chord, you know. It's kind of an easy way to put it out, but it's important to you know, create the line, if you can, above all the notes of the harmony. And that is the thing that most of us are not doing in some cases. So always try to do that in a way. Obviously, there's nothing bad about just playing the roots, you know. About playing it simple, it's not bad. And you should always say it that way, you know. I like jazz, I like some complex things maybe, but I know it's not always the answer, you know. There's much more other things to look. So how do I learn easier where are the exact notes on the fret? Is there any method? Alex Uturgaidze. Well, you have some weird names. Okay, so how do I learn easier where are the exact notes? Okay. Most of the time it's just about you know, getting accustomed to name them. Name the notes you're trying to play, and learning some scales, it's always very important. So the first step, I really think it's about learning the notes, the names of the open strings. So you have a G, D, A, and E. So you have those notes, and when you have memorized that, you have kind of a knowledge to apply to the construction of this instrument. So you have a G, D, A, and E, or E, A, D, G. You know, it's hard for me. I'm sorry if I'm not saying it in the correct way, but because I'm used to the other way of telling the notes. You know, we in Latin America and some other countries, we name the notes not C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. We actually name them Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Si, Do. So maybe some of you know, maybe some of you don't, but you know, the more you know. Okay, so you have the open strings really memorized, and if you check in the 12th fret, notes are repeated, so you have another knowledge right here, and from that you can construct yourself a method. If you know that in each of these frets you have a semitone of difference, so you can construct over there. I remember most of the times when I was learning, you know, I was trying to know, okay, which is this note? And I don't know how to get to it, and how can I do it? So I know this is an A, so I will be going much time ago. I would be doing something like this, A, A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, and we have D sharp. Okay, that's the note. And I was going like this, really trying to know the note in that way. And sometimes I'm kind of using the same thing, but I'm trying to improve it in a way, trying to know more of the safe notes. I already know this is an A, this is a D, this is a G, this is a C, and I know it fast because of just knowing some tunes, knowing which note is this, which scale can I use, and I think all the knowledge will help you in knowing the notes. But I always have some difficult time maybe with some notes right here. I'm not the best actually about it. But I know this is an F. I know this is another F because I know the positions of the octave. I know the patterns of the playing, so I know the intervals, and from that I know also some other notes. So if we have a C right here, and I know the intervals in my instrument, I will know that I have a fourth right here, and I have an F. Yeah, if I have a second right here, I have a D, and from that C I know many notes also. So all of that things I think are very useful, to learn the notes. And you won't ever say to no one will ever tell you that not knowing the notes it's a good thing. You will always have to know what are you playing. That's very important. In some cases, we as musicians of these instruments, guitar and bass and some other things, not keyboard. Keyboard is different in a way because you have all the notes in your disposition. You don't have patterns. Maybe you have some patterns to memorize positions, but in this instrument you can actually play and not know the notes because you have a lot of knowledge about the patterns, and you can do something like this, and you can transport it and do the same thing over here, over there, and maybe you lost the track of the notes. And so that's an exercise I'm always trying to do because it's very important actually. So I could add dynamics actually to the tablature, and that would be nice. I really like adding the most of the parameters you have in music. For the ones that don't know about dynamics, and I think I'm gonna talk about it a little bit. Dynamics is in an easy way, getting a difference between intensity in your playing. You can play something like this or something like this, and you can advance even in dynamics. You can kind of go from piano to forte. In that way, you can do something like this. And that changing in intensity, it's always kind of a difficult thing to achieve in popular music most of the time, because you have the use of compression, that if you use it wrong, you will get rid of that dynamics that in most of the songs are a richness to add to it. So you really have to be careful with dynamics, because even if you're using compression, I will maybe notice if you're not using good dynamics, because there's a difference between playing like this Even, you know, beyond playing it, with low or high intensity, the safeness, the security, you can feel it in a good line and in whatever. So if you really need to play it slow, play it slow. I mean, in low intensity. And if you really need to play it in high intensity, you always had to do it. Most of the bass players, I think, try to play a little bit harder, you know, for trying to get some better sound out of it. And in most of the time, you want to hear yourself pretty well, so you will always play kind of a little bit more. Try to always play over the top a little bit. Not all the pianos are very piano. You really need, this is piano for me, and this is forte. So in an acoustic instrument, it's really important, and in this kind of instruments, I really think it also is. So I don't know how much time we have, but I think I'm kind of tired right now. But I'm going to answer some other things, and I think that's all for today. So I'm stuck trying to create bass lines, says Mr. J. Plant. I learned scales, etc., and can't seem to get past it. Trying to create a nice bass line. It's kind of the most artistic part, I think, about music. It's creating yourself, your own sound, or maybe your own lines. And I think it's all about learning to steal well. I always try to think about it. Learning to do a good stealing of some other people's effort in a way. There's nothing bad about stealing some things of some other people. And having been born in this period of time, you have a lot of influence to get to. Maybe in antique times, you won't hear another musician for years, and maybe you won't know what the world is playing. But now you can go to YouTube and watch and listen and analyze what other people are doing. I think that's the most important thing, to add vocabulary to your playing. So everything, maybe I'm thinking of a line, and I will be trying to improvise a line. Okay, let's go. Okay, something like this. Or whatever, you have something like this, and every technique I'm using, every expression, every thing I'm using, I know in my heart that it's not actually mine, but I'm trying to do the commutations in a way that it's not obviously equal to another thing that I just heard, and maybe I'm trying to give it my way of playing those elements. So maybe don't be so afraid of doing some copies. Maybe try to. I really like this channel that actually, because of that, because when you're playing songs from other people, you will get some of the sound eventually if you play a lot. So maybe you're playing some Primus, and you will never forget to do something like that, you know, adding that to your playing, maybe because you liked it, and it's something new, something different, and you will play it, and that's right. You can give it a twist and convert it, you know, in something that is yours. So yeah, I am a thief, actually, but everyone is a thief, you know, especially when you're a kind of an artist, you know, especially when you're trying to compose and when you're trying to create things. But there's good thieves and there's bad thieves, you know. The good thief is the one that don't get caught. So, and the bad is the one that goes to jail, you know, goes to 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 get a lawsuit. So yeah, be a good thief. Um, yeah, okay. A last thing I want to say, and it's about the last song I uploaded. It's over here, I think. And this is from an Argentinian band. And I'd love to play some more things, you know, from other countries. I don't like, you know, just getting some of the typical things. I really like to, you know, besides I'm kind of a maybe not paying attention to you if you think like that, you know, about the YouTube comments, and not playing, you know, roundabout, not playing anesthesia, and not playing whatever. I'm always trying to give you something different, and that is very important also, you know. Something that you maybe never heard, but you can get something out of it. I really like this line, and especially I like the use of this. Um, I really like that part of this song. So you can use this, and it's kind of a really bluesy way of approaching, you know, this chord, you know, and A major. You have the triad right here. So you have the root, the third, the fifth, and you add some other notes. You are adding the seventh right here. In your line, you're adding some harmony to the song, you know, and that's very important, you know, getting some harmony applied to maybe that is something that is kind of simple, and you can add complexity to it as a bassist. Very important too. And you can maybe pick this out and use it in every way, you know, in every major chord. Maybe you can use it, and maybe it will sound great. So you must try it, you know. That was one of the things that I really liked about this song. In other times, maybe, you know, you have the root applied, and some other things, but yeah, I really think listening a lot of other bassists will give you some inspiration, you know, to maybe play some things in some way. But always don't be afraid to just play the root, or just play simple things, you know. Maybe sometimes that's the answer, you know. Just playing it simple, and try to get some attitude out of it, you know. you can play some quarter notes with attitude, or you can play it with no attitude, and it's the same thing for some people. But for you and for good musicians, they'll notice, this guy is playing a really good quarter notes. So um I think I will be going right now. So last questions, maybe I will be answering. Maybe some other really little thing, but if I had to give a review of this week, it was great in this channel. In the matter of the channel, and I'm going to try my best to get videos every day, but it's really hard. It's really hard, and I don't know if I can pull it out. It's really hard, and I don't want to lose attention to the way I'm polishing each song. And getting the best transcription, the best playing. So I don't want to become a bad channel, just because of the views and because of the regularity of the uploads. So do you have any base in mind if you can get enough money? And yes, I really want to have the usual, maybe Fender Jazz. I think each one of us, or most of the bassists, should have it in their hands. I actually had in my hands a jazz bass in some time, but having it and incorporating it to your playing, it's very important. It's a classic instrument. So I will be trying to improve in that part, if the people allows it. If some people that are supporting me, in you are supporting me also, just by watching this and just by watching the videos. So please keep doing it. What would you consider to be the best part of playing bass? As I said, I really like the role in a band of playing bass, and the the way of communication that it gives you with some other people. you know and I think that's very valuable in your role as a bassist. And of course it's really fun, and you can use your fingers directly, and you're not worried about some other things. Maybe you shouldn't be worried much about pedals if you don't want to, and you're just grooving it. And I really like it. And obviously, we bass players are the most badass, and no one can say the contrary. um what picks do you use when you use one? I just use the pick that I steal from other people. I'm not worried about it. But I really want to get some other right now, because I don't have one. Actually, I was playing with this thing, from the cans of I don't know how you call it, but but yeah, maybe the jazz bass is not the best answer for everything. Maybe there's some other answers, in toning, in some songs. If you want to play metal, I think it's not the answer. In sometimes, if you want to play other styles, maybe. But I really think it's a really versatile instrument, just like this one. And I like it because I can play whatever I can. Obviously, I can't play everything, but most of the things probably. So okay, I think that's all for today. I really appreciate you guys for being here, every one of you. I know this is not the most popular thing of the channel, but I really enjoy it. It's kind of like being in front of some people and talking some things and trying to give my view, of the instrument, and trying to get some knowledge, out of you. I'm not probably the best in consistency, but I try to give some advices, and I hope I'm answering your questions. So I will be seeing you next week, I think, if everything it's right. Um, and since there's not much of you watching this, I will be saying that I will be uploading a Black Sabbath song this weekend. It's Nativity in Black, so um, wait for it, and I hope it's good for you, and you could learn it, really fast and really well. I think that's the main goal here, encouraging you and trying to get you to learn the best way of things and the best way of songs, actually. So thanks to everyone, and I will be seeing you really soon. Thanks to David Velasquez, thanks to Jay Plant, thank you Angelo Lopez, thank you Prank You Fool, Eriku 3660, and Dylan, thanks to you, and thanks to everyone watching, and goodbye.